Hey guys, hope you guys are doing incredibly well. Long time. Happy 2026. Awesome. So, wow, we've got, wow, Louis saying hi. We have Olu, long time. We have Nas, we have Michelle, we have Nas, excited for the new year. We have Andrew, good evening. We have Maria, we have Musta, we have RJ, and a lot of beautiful people as well. Well done. Really nice to see a lot of you. Now, what happened to the stock market has been pretty interesting, isn't it? Yeah. We've been talking about this for quite a long time. So anyone with who's been a little bit disciplined, who a little bit patient, so I'm gonna say well done. Well done to you. We're gonna go through the stock market in a second. And let me just do a little bit of this and that. So just really well done for a lot of you. So we got Mario saying hi. Hello, Mario. How are you? We've got Maureen as well. Maureen, welcome. Long time. We have some new students here. Masak, awesome. Nice to see you. And a lot of beautiful people. Hi, Olu. And we have Success 88, probably Sand, have Third Giles. Awesome. Cool. Let's get straight into it right now to see what happened to the stock market right now. We have Michelle Louis saying hi. We have Olu. We have Nas. Let me see what speaker am I using. Cool. So we got let me know if you think without the speaker is better. Um I mean, microphone is better because I can never hear myself. We have Nas, we have Michelle, we have Nas, we have Andrew, we have Maria, we have Musta, we have Ajay, we have Sean, Laura, Neil, Rashma, Abby, Maureen, Andrew. Nice. Currently in SG. Send an alarm. Don't know how you do this. Well done, Anne. I love your commitment. Well done on your commitment. You've been doing really well. We have Donata and we have Kenny as well. Sounds good. Because about awesome. Now, thank you for sharing that. Mm, so let's get straight into it right now. So let's share the screen for a second. So how do I share? Awesome. So today we're going to talk about three things. We're going to talk about what happened to the stock market right now. Should we do something or what happened? A lot of students already, been doing something, which is good. And second part is we're going to continue our strategies as well, where we're going to go through some guidance stocks that is huge or that is not so huge, or just get an idea, just get a topic of an idea. What sort of things to pay attention to really this year and beyond, so that you make a lot of money. As you say, this year is literally a very interesting year, especially for those who got started, those who've been doing for a long time already. Um, the news or the treat for you will be if you already own now, this is it. Personal finance is a personal thing. So different people is in different situation. So if you've been doing for quite some time, if you've been with me for quite some time, and you should know about the rules. Okay, you should know about the rules if you already own something and stuff like that. And I kind of always tell you to kind of, especially those, this is what happened when you first build from 0 to 100K. And so this is where you do some trading, some actively trading, you do a lot of work. But once you make 100K and above, you literally can close your eyes and just even click forget password and things triple just like that. And the way we do that is, we aim for an extreme fear situation. Just to recap back for my apprentices, we wait for an extreme fear situation, and we just go in, and then when once you get to a little bit overvalue, once we read the guidance is going down, once it goes below our EMA line, can be EMA 50, and then we sell them right at the top. Or when we reach extreme greed, then we sell them right at the top. Yeah, or we just take them gradually like that. And even if you don't sell them, that's still okay. So especially those who are very yeah, with that you would three times your money or four times, five times your money, just like that. Um, so that's kind of what happened. And Yeah, without using any leverage like that. But before you build, so that's kind of what happened. And every year you treat you times three times three times three using the power of compound interest. We also recommend you to take 50% of your money out. So that's how financial freedom is really being achieved. Where at that moment you just close your eyes and things just going up, really really beautifully like that. Where we talk about out of so many things, only trading and investing, you don't have to do it every single day. Once you use some really powerful strategy, build a certain amount, that's it. Your life is settled. You do whatever you want. You get to choose to do the things that you want. That's what happened to a lot of our students. And that's yeah. And while in a job, 60-year-old you have to do it again. 70-year-old you have to start all over again. 80-year-old you have to start all over again. Every day is a new day. So till you drop, which is not really fair. Yeah. So trading and investing. So well done for a lot of you who really decided you want to get good at this. Cool. So let's get straight into it right now. I say personal finance is a personal thing. So I will, if you've any questions, just let me know about your personal situation, and we're gonna take it kind of from there. Yeah. Cool. So because everyone is in a different, very different situation. Um, so you can see this is technology 100. It's like a Nasdaq. Or if you go to S&P 500, it's also very similar. You can see that for normal people who just do it and buy it like that, we don't really recommend just to buy and hold like that. Especially when you are kind of like a complete beginners where we start with very small amount. Um, we don't recommend you to buy and hold like that and just cross your fingers. And then you're gonna make like 1%, 2%, 3%, 4% a year. So that's just a bit time wasting. You can see if you started like 7th of October, if you started today, you'll be like, Raven, I'm gonna put money into the stock market today. You'll be exactly the same situation. Today is January 21st. January almost finishes. January, New Year resolution almost finishes. So today is January 21st. And that means for people who start in December, start in November, start in October, start in September, then you are exactly the same situation as people who started 5 months ago. Okay. And that is when you are based in the US. That's when you are using US as your main currency. But if you're using pound, which is most people are, or foreign investor, you're probably gonna be using which one? Let's have a look. VUAG maybe. You're gonna be exchanging your currency a little bit. Yeah, so exchange currency a little bit. So you're gonna be the same thing as people who started 3 months ago, 4 months ago as well. Yeah. So that's kind of what happened. Yeah. So you will be started with people who started. Every day people are knocking on Warren Buffett's door. Warren Buffett, you have these millions of actually billions now, billions and trillions of cash. As an investor, and we give you so much money. And how come you're not doing anything? So every day people are sending letters to Warren Buffett. Yeah, I told you people are sending death letters every day, every day, every day, every day. They're sending. So people who are sending it, who cannot be patient, who cannot be disciplined, is exactly the same situation. It's exactly the same situation as people who just started, 3 months, 4 months ago. And I show you this is fine. But if I show you some individual stocks, it's actually crazy. If I show you things like Netflix, like the big seven stocks, you can see in the past, Netflix is exactly the same situation. 21st of January today is exactly the same situation as people who are started a year ago. A year ago, guys, 25th of November 2024. So that means anyone who have bought Netflix in the past 6 months' time, they will be like, wow, sorry, in the past 1 year time, they will be like, what happened? People are chasing and chasing. Wow, Netflix is like going up big time. Let me draw a trend line, People are using technical analysis. I mean, drawing to a trend line. Oh, this is going up, going up, going up big time, big time, big time. So this is why we really, really stress that trading and investing is not really it's not really like working in a job. It's not where every day you go in a job, as you spend an hour, you get paid £12, £15, £20, £100, whatever that is. Spend another 2 hours, you get paid like that. Yeah, Netflix is like that. Even Microsoft was like that. If you Microsoft, one of the best companies in the world, the top seven, the magnificent seven people always talk about. And you started today I want to invest in Microsoft. You're exactly the same situation as people who invest in 14th of May. That's like, almost 8, 10 months ago. Yeah. And if you look at it carefully, it's actually the same as people in June to 28th of June 2024. Yeah. So that's kind of what happened. So patience is really important. Being disciplined, having someone to mentor you, to guide you is really important. This is why most retail traders, when they do it by themselves, they don't really make it. It's actually because they just been doing that, and then do a trend line, they'll be like, oh, let me get in, and eventually just come down like that. And they'll be like, oh, why am I not changing my life? Um, by doing what everybody else do, which is they just do it every day and and stuff like that. And when everyone else does it, they want to do it. And news say buy, they say they go and buy, and stuff like that. So it's just a bit tricky. It's just a bit weird. And so yeah, so this is why trading and investing is really for the top 5% of people who have a mentor. So well done and congratulations to all of you. What else? Microsoft was like that. Um, Even Metas as well, or the top seven basically. Who else have we got? Tesla. Let's have a look. Very powerful companies as well. One of the best robotic companies. Starting Tesla right now will be the same as you starting Tesla, probably a year ago as well, September and then of December. Yeah. The time that I will be so you'll be like, oh Raymond, what does that actually mean? What does that mean? Should we buy now and stuff like that? So that's what we're gonna be talking about today, basically. So mm, uh yeah, so that's what we're gonna be talking about today. Using our strategies that we always talk about. Some of you got bored about the strategy we always talk about. Because the secret to mastery, the secret to getting good is just repetition. Yeah, the secret to getting good at something is just repetition. People get six pack, people get big, whatever that is, shoulder, biceps, whatever that is. It's not because they have fancy equipment. Oh, my equipment is green color. My equipment is red color. No, they use exact same bench press as anyone else. Yeah. But the result are different. It just depends on how disciplined they are. Yeah, Bitcoins as well, very big topic, and everyone's going into Bitcoin. They say, oh, let me get into Bitcoins as well. We talk about the greed, it reaches extreme fear on Bitcoin here. And a lot of you probably own some of these already. Okay, so it depends on the different levels that you are on. So so as you say, personal finance is a personal thing. Okay. So different people, I will give you a different situation, different category. But I would say everyone who's on the elite training, if you already own something, then continue to own them. Okay. If you're on the elite training, because I kind of understand where you are, most people on the elite training is quite similar. So you can continue to own them. But if you're not, then it's totally different. Yeah. So if you really own them, that's absolutely fine. Um, yeah, you should be thinking about selling right now. If you want to be thinking about selling, you should be thinking about selling when everything looks so good. Okay. But if you're on the elite training, you don't have to sell anything anyway. But anyway, so what else? We got Bitcoin, also very big topics as well. So if you read, okay, if you do not know what's going on with the whole situation, if you're reading guidance, especially like JP Morgan, they come up with some guidance. Let's go to JP Morgan guidance for a second. So if you don't know what happened to the economy and stuff like that, all these big banks, they've been doing things for you. JP Morgan earning transcript, January. Um, Yeah, that one probably. Earning transcript. Just kind of tell you what happened in in the whole economy. As a banks, they do a lot of research, analysis, etc. as well. Let's see if it opens. So this is January 13th, okay, earning transcript. And if you've been doing the guidance homework, you kind of get that a little bit. So you're talking about last year, how was it? And full year result, how was it? And whether people are spending money, how is consumers, how is small businesses doing, and they say consumers and small businesses remain resilient. We continue to monitor leading indicator. Okay, for any sign of stress despite weak consumer sentiment. Because of weak consumer sentiment, Nike has been coming down, Lululemon, Apple has been coming down. That means consumers on the retail side are not spending so much money on retail. Okay. Trends in our data are largely consistent with historical norm. So it's normal. We are not seeing any deterioration. Debit credit continue to perform well, 7 to 7 for the full year, all of that. In terms of the outlook, we expect a strong client engagement, deal activity support by all that thing. In markets, fixed market with strong performance rates, turning assets wealth management predominantly. In liquidity, we saw net inflows of everything. So, um, record client asset net inflows. So that means more and more people are putting money into the market because they saw a record client asset inflows. So if you remember when everyone is invested, if you remember the chart, when the whole world is invested, that's where things start to get tricky because everyone has already invested. Where is it going to go higher? If everyone already invested, who is going to pump the market up? To finish the fourth quarter, and I cover the outlook. I want to talk about all these non-banks, etc. So let's see the growth. Um, 2026 isolating clearly represent meaningful expense growth in terms of dollar. Environment competitive. Stable coin issue. So some people are thinking about, oh, if let's say USDT, for those who don't know what stable coin, just type it. What is stable coin? Stable coin, what is stable coin? Yeah, USDT and stuff like that. Yeah. So if cryptocurrency comes, what's going to happen? Because Congress wants to come up with stable coin and all of that. Treasury. So Treasury estimated that 6.6 trillion bank deposits. So JP Morgan and all of that bank deposits is going to be a bit tricky because they are not using stable coin. They are using fiat. They are using normal money. Could be at risk if we don't close that loophole. So my question is, it was written, the community bank, any result, it will put people and all of that. Yeah. So banks actually been suffering a little bit right now. They're coming down a little bit. Most of the banks today got hit big time. Um, since then, let's go at JP Morgan for a bit. Yeah, 3% down today. Wow, it's crazy. So ever since the transcript comes out, which is on the 13th, which is around there, things has been coming down crazy. Yeah, because a lot of things that we ever since the news. If you for complete beginners, some people say, how can we use some AI? Okay, let's use AI for a second. Let's copy and paste on AI. Like some people, oh, Raymond, can we use AI? Yeah, we do teach how to use AI. So you want to know the prompt. So you're like, is this bullish for 2026 short term and medium term and long term? What what are the bullish factors and bearish factors? You cannot read, isn't it? Some people cannot read. Oops. Just put it on like that. Anyway, let's continue reading. It's quite interesting anyway. And what else do we have? So JP Morgan and was signed, all of that. They're talking about, okay, when people don't put bank deposits and stuff like that, they put USDT. Noted 70 growth investment assets, all of that. All of that. All of that. Let's have a look. Just trying to see if they talk about. So what else? They talk about macro opportunity. for the banks, paired with deregulation, USDT coming in, credit card caps, all of that. Subpoena to the chair power. This is where analysts are asking questions that you have the questions as well. They're asking for you. We're talking about, chair is going to get fired, all of that, credit card rate caps. How is that going to affect all these things? And investor kept saying over the weekend, we can't wait to hear what Jamie has to say about 2026 outlook. Jamie, the CEO of JP Morgan. If you start the terms, how you would see macro backdrop unveil in 2026 for the banking industry and all of that. So yeah, I mean, I'll answer the question, but I think when you're guessing what the environment is going to be, if you ask me, in the short run, 6 to 9 months, even a year is pretty positive. Consumers have money, there's still jobs, even though it's weakened a little bit. So someone is basically the analyst of this UB Security LLC, is asking, what do you think about the whole, 2026? So Jamie Dimon, the chairman of JP Morgan, tell you what's happened. 6 months, 9 months, consumer have money, there's still jobs, even though we weaken a little bit, there's still huge, a lot of stimulus coming from the one big beautiful bill. If you don't know what that is, just copy and paste that. Deregulation is a plus in general, not just for the banks, but banks will be able to redeploy capital. The backdrop is also important. Geopolitical is an enormous amount of risk. So on the 13th of whatever that is, January, this guy, we already read them, if you go to the homework, the week 4, we ask you to go to some guidance, etc. So if you've been doing the homework, you should already read them. It's already give you some hint. Where are we? Where's JP Morgan? Where is that guy? Anyway, let's go back. Alternate F. Yeah. Geogra. Yeah, so it's talking about what else? Geopolitical is an enormous amount of risk. Okay, I don't have to go through each part of it. So he doesn't want to go through each part of it. So geopolitical, what is geopolitical? People who don't get it, let's just copy and paste that for you. Is a international stuff, all of that thing, like what is happening right now with Greenland and all of that. What is this? Give some examples. If you don't understand some words, because we have a lot of beginners here. I'm going to make it very beginner friendly. So all of these real world, what is that? Main political risks for 2026, all of that thing, Ukraine, Russia, China, Taiwan, all of that. Yeah. Cyber welfare, political. Anyway, let's continue. Oh, what does he say? Okay, this is a summary. So let's see what is summary. Based on what is it, bullish to cautious bullish, especially short term, medium, still bullish, but earn it. Bullish macro backdrop still positive. Strong earning power. Equity strength, equity revenue 40% year over year. Credit still behaving, no material deterioration. Rate cut expectation, we're thinking about 2 rate cuts coming in. Bearish is like credit cards, the stable coin. No one is going to put their money into the bank anymore. They just put it into crypto. Expense shock. People are spending money on CapEx, on AI, which is fine. Net short-term read and all of that. Medium term, bullish. Deal, franchise, Apple Card deal. Okay, there's a bearish deposit growth, card growth, execution of the Apple Card, long term, all of that. Okay, that's fine. I'll summarize for you once we read it together. Let's come back. So he's talking about, 13th of what? January, this guy, JP Morgan, who's got a lot of insiders information, is an enormous amount of risk. I don't have to go through each part of it. It's just a big amount of risk that may or may not determine the state of the economy. The deficits of the United States around the world are quite large. We don't know what's going on. But eventually you cannot just borrow money. And of course, we have to deal with the world we've got, not the world we want. And I don't guess about the outcome. We serve the client, we serve them left and right. With the politics deal, we're comfortable. I do think if you look at it, the rising tide is lifting all boats a little bit. I'm quite conscious of that, how I look at the numbers at least, but it doesn't mean it's not going to. It does not mean it's going to stop this year. But it doesn't mean it's not going to. It does not mean it's going to stop. Okay. Cool. So we don't just have one bank. We have so many banks. We have like Goldman Sachs, all of that companies releasing earning guidance. All of them tell you what is the outlook of the whole year. As I told you already last week, we talk about a lot of people for beginners, we start from macro first and you go all the way to the bottom. You've got from the economy, what happened to the economy and what will affect your sector, and then it will affect your industry, and it will affect your individual shares. That's absolutely very, very true. But a much more powerful thing to do when you have time, okay? Um, use a little bit of AI, just read things a little bit. A much more powerful thing, we talked about it last week, is to flip it around where you read individual companies and then you kind of can tell what happened to, you know, to the whole situation. Yeah. You by reading the big things like that in small companies, by reading small individuals companies, you can tell whether the market is gonna crash or not. Yeah. Your homework, your homework after today, just so that you know, just go back to just before the crash. You will see that you kind of read the crash coming in, whether it's January 2020 five and February 2025, whether is same thing with 2021. I mean, just give me a second. Or whether is let's call it. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do March as well, March 23rd, just have a look on their guidance a little bit. You will see they change their tone a little bit. And same thing with December, December 21. You will change that they change their tone. What do you mean? So if I draw it for you, okay, it's best if you do it. So how do you do it? I will show you a market screen how to do it. Okay. So you don't have to filter guidance, you just have to filter all news. Then you can go back big time. Okay. Because the guidance doesn't really work. You have to do all news. So you will see before all these crash, you will see that the guidance has been going up big time. Things are quite nice, going up big time. And then suddenly, the guidance started to decrease. We talked about Nvidia the other day, or whatever we talked about last week. The margin, we talk about the margin is the most important. The profit margin of the business is most important. More important than revenue, more important than EPS. Yeah. So the margin came down. Why is it more important? Um, Something to do with mathematics. So if I do some maths for you, you will see that even 1% change of the margin equivalent to like 20% of revenue. Honestly, it's crazy. Yeah, so the margin is really important, the revenue, and then followed by the EPS. So you will see that they suddenly decrease their revenue and stuff like that. So you kind of get ready of what's going to happen. So the stocks will tell you. Okay. But anyway, so this is just him. Let's see if he say anything else. So there's just a lot of things. As we look, we are still okay and okay. Just iterate. So it's not like crazy things is gonna happen by reading what we are reading right now. If you compare this with some other reports like 2005 before the financial crisis, if you compare with like 2020, 21, the dates that I gave it to you, you will see it's crazy. It's a lot more negative. You put in ChatGPT, ask them to rate how negative is this. Okay, out of 10, how bullish is this transcript compared to the past transcript, and stuff like that. But you have to put exactly the transcript that you want for them. Just to reiterate, Very much all of that. Talking about 40 billion a month of buying. Okay, someone is asking one more. Can I just add one more factor? Which is a fact? They don't call it QE, quantitative easing, where Fed prints money. But they're talking about doing 40 billion a month of buying T-bills. That adds 40 billion a month. All things being equal into bank reserves. And most of that initially shows up as a deposits, and then it may be get deployed, so they start to spend. So we will see how that plays out too. But it does create more liquidity in the system, which I have mentioned is another tailwind of the economy. People don't know what is tailwind. Just copy and paste that. Tailwind means what? Just like that. A wind blowing in the direction of travel, a wind blowing from behind. Factors that helps to increase growth cause positive effect. All right? Just to help people who are complete beginner. So it helps you because they're printing money. Yeah. That's exactly what happened. But I told you, because of midterm election, usually historically, because they're gonna kick the Fed out, the power out, they're gonna have a new Fed coming in, and a new Fed when they come in, historically, new Fed will increase interest rate. Usually, it's like that. Historically, we have so many Fed was doing that. And then 2 weeks ago, we were looking at the name of the Fed. Powell was increasing interest rates straight away in 2018. And then 2006, there's these ladies as well doing the same thing. But almost every single time a new Fed comes in, they want to increase interest rate. It's just one of these things that they do. The Fed wants to show power, want to test the market. They call it in finance term. Um, all of that. Thank you so much. All of that. Okay, anyway, so that's just to let you know what happened by JP Morgan, okay? By that. And with a little bit about what I think. So if you ask me what I think, um, in order for me to think, I have to read 10 of these, 10 banks. I have to read JP Morgan. I have to read Goldman Sachs. I have to read all these Bank of America, but you don't have to do it. It's not important. The good news is you don't really need to know this. Our strategies are there. We talk about it every week. You don't even need to know this because if you sit down, you wait properly. Even you don't read this, you can tell what's gonna happen. Yeah, you can tell what's gonna happen. But it's nice to read a little bit of this. It's quite interesting. When you read a little bit of this guidance and the transcripts a little bit using week 4 training, where we taught you how to read them. Um, and you read a little bit of this, and you will be able to kind of choose the sectors. You remember I told you last week, if I show you the recording on YouTube, and we normally take it down quite fast. And I show you last week where, in December, the sales of Tesla, one of the best, one of the top, one of the biggest car companies, shows really bad cars going in, and then the rest follow. January, BMW follow, Volvo follow, all these news follow, and then we look at the reason why, and why the car companies comes down, and you can ask AIs as well, but some people say due to China market, some people due to sentiment, some people just due to season and stuff like that. Yeah. So by looking at that, you can see even today BMW continue to comes down. BMW, BMW. Since we talk about that, since we talk about that, continue to comes down, and not just BMW, almost all. Volvo comes down, all of that we talked about last week. So this is the power of knowing one company really, really well. Hopefully those are big. Hopefully those have some impact. And you start to relate to the whole economy, and then you are the world. You know everything suddenly by just studying one company really, really strongly in depth. Yeah. It's not difficult. You guys all have different jobs in different field. You might be good in mining. You might be good in oil and gas. You might be good in like whatever that is, dentist and stuff like that. Yeah. Anyway, coming back to the topic. So what's going on right now? Should we buy? Should we not buy and stuff like that? But let's have a look. As we talk about market are coming down, like crazy, like the world's never seen before. Um, a little bit like it's okay. I want to tell you some things as well. It's the statistics, yeah. Every year we will have usually every 2 years or every year we will have at least a market crash of 20% in the history of forever. Let's ask ChatGPT this. Okay, every year and every 6 years we will have a market crash of what is it? I think it's 30%. Okay, let's use AI. People are, oh, even why do you not teach how to use AI? I'm going to teach you how to use AI. So how often in since in 100 years in since like I don't know 1800 the stock market SP 500 index um I think we have the graphs as well. We just talk about how often it crash more than 20% in a year. Bear market is when it crashes more than 28, 25%. How often it crashes more than 20% in a year? Give me some percentage, you know, and some interesting statistic. Let's have a look. So that you have a clue, or even why you're talking about this stuff. Those who do not know history will repeat history. This is what I wish I could have gotten when I first started. When I first started trading and investing 15 years ago, I would pay a lot of money for someone to tell me that, wow, by just studying one individual stocks, by studying stocks, by studying companies, I'm able to know what happened to the economy. I wish someone could have told me that. Just one stock properly. Yeah. I'll pay a lot of money because it's so helpful, it's so powerful. I wish someone could have told me about studying statistics, knowing about historical pattern, what usually happen, because you kind of know it always happen. Oh, December is always gonna snow a little bit, winter always come. But if you just born 2 year old, you never know it's gonna snow. So you pay a lot of money to know this stuff. Anyway, because school don't teach. Which school teach you this? Here is a clear picture. MBA. A lot of my friends, a lot of our students went to MBA, £100,000. They don't teach anything like that. So I want to say congratulations of you today, to learning some powerful stuff. But anyway, historical S&P crash, bear declines 20%. At the end of the day, I will tell you what to do. Okay, we're just gonna digest some information now. I don't want to tell you. I don't want to give you a conclusion straight away. I will tell you at the end of the session what to do. But anyway, here's a clear picture, all of that. So what is it? Um, let's see if they give us proper numbers. So you can see 10 to 20% correction from all-time high. It occurs much more frequently, usually once every 1 or 2 years. Okay, just like that. Okay, correction 10 to 20% over much more frequently, roughly occurs 1 to 2 years. Let me just give you some context because we're a very practical person. So a lot of people want some practical training. I'm going to give you some practical training. So this crash in October was around 6%. How do you know? You can use AI or you can use calculation. Use the top 70 comes to 66. So it's 4. Okay, 70, 66 is 4. 4 divided by 7. Let's have a look. 4 divided by 7. Around 5 to 6%. Okay. And this is all for 3%. And then this drop was around, let's have a look how much this is. 61, 48. 61 minus 48 is 13. 13 divided by 61, 21%. All right. Last year, we have a 21% drop from all-time high. Okay. And then we've got another one going on. This is 2024. This is from here, 5680 to 51. 5680 to 51. This is 5 divided by this 10% drop. and then another 10% drop. This is probably another 25% drop. Um, and what is this? This is the one of the most important year. It's a midterm election. I told you before in the beginning of the year, we have the whole outlook of 2026 outlook for the whole outlook in the beginning of the year, 1st of January. Yeah, I gave you the outlook. We didn't rest on 1st of January. We are continue carrying on our session. And in that session, I told you about this year will probably be like you think the world is crazy. You remember I told you about, this year it looks like the world is crazy. Last year, it looks like it looks like the market keeps going higher and higher. It looks like you want to buy big time. This year you will be like, you keep buying, you'll be like, why is it keep falling? It will be like a bear market. You feel like the recession is gonna come. This year that's the feeling of it. And why would you say so, Raven or Ben? Because of our midterm election. Okay, the Fed is gonna come. I told you in the beginning. I told you the 1st January. You can watch that outlook of 2026 again. There's a video. And yeah, the Fed is gonna come. That's a very, very big factor. And midterm election it's just always happened. Look at what happened in 2022. It's the same. 2022 plus 4, where we are right now, which is a midterm election as well. Yeah. So that's what happened to the market then. Yeah. Just like that, it's like, why is it keep going down? Like, what's happening right now? That's what happened. And in this situation, before that, people who do not have a mentor, who are not apprentices, who don't have a mentor, they'll be like, oh, even monkey can make money. But then suddenly everything comes back. They'll be like, wow, what's going on? Everything is negative. They think stock market is a scam. They think 2008 is a scam. Wow, in reality, you just need to be educated. You just got to mentally prepare. You just need some one-to-one mentorship. Anyway, so that's kind of what happened. So well done to a lot of you. So where are we? Um so what are we talking about? So yeah, we're just talking about, just got sidetracked a little bit. So that's what happened. We are looking through the geopolitical, and then we talk about that. Okay, cool. Oh yes, we talk about historically how many times, okay, stock actually correct themselves. Correction 10 to 20%, and roughly around 1 to 2 years. And pullback, it happens very frequently. We saw that last year happened 3 to 4 times. A typical crack, 20% negative 32 from the 20% of the times, every 4 years, 5 years, it will have 30% crash. Bear market can last, just a little bit only. Historical stocks have been bear about 20-25% of the time. 5% pullback, 90% of the years. You always see a 5% pullback. If you were suddenly at all-time high and you want to get in, just if you know about this statistic, your life will be so easier. You'll be like, oh, 90% of the time it will pull back. Then you just wait for the pullback. So many people, you have no idea. So many beginners who are not in our training trying to buy things at all-time high here. Especially last week, people want to buy at all-time high. Anyway, if you want to buy then, you must you might as well buy now. Anyway, so coming back, so and then 10% of the time or 60% of the years, that means there is a 10% correction. And 25% of the years, 20% crash. So historically, big crash regularly, but not yearly, once every 3 to 5 years, like a midterm election. Small corrections show us much more frequently. This gives a sense of how often volatility is. I can break down probability of crash. All right, let's break it down. Let's see what they say. Sure, do it for 2026. And give me the reasons. Include some midterms as well. We're going to give them some hint, We're going to give them some hint. Remember, AI is not going to replace your job as a trader investor. They will never replace it, but you will always you can do hand in hand. Okay? It will help you to save a little bit of time. You don't need this anyway. We already know this, but we just use this to save our time anyway. We know this by heart because every year I look at it, it's the same thing, Look at you, it's the same thing. Anyway, so right now, let me tell you how much market crash from the top to the end, so you got a clue. Today, our market has crashed from 7,000 to 6,794. So 2 divided by 7, how much is that? 2 divided by 7. It's around 4%. Okay, from all-time high. Interesting, isn't it? 4% for all-time high. Okay, 5% is where it occurs 90% of the time. 5% is when it occurs 90% of the time. 10%, let me see when it's going to be 10%. 10% is -7. 10% would just be, wow, 10% would be crazy. 6.3, wow, 10% will go back to July time. Wow, crazy, isn't it? So this is 3%, 2% we are seeing right now. 5% is probably going to be here. 5, 6%, 7% is going to be here. 10% will just be there. Okay. And and we'll talk about I would it's another topic talking about what stocks to buy. Okay, what stocks to buy is another topic. And but apprentices already know what stocks to buy to build it big time. So it's a big topic. But anyway, so let's just talk about that a little bit. So this is 10%. So you have a clue about it. All right. So that's kind of what happened. All right. So this is just give you some statistics. I wish when I first started, someone could have given me these statistics. Why? Because so you can mentally prepare for it. So you kind of know, oh, when it rains for 15 minutes. Oh, 7 o'clock in the morning, sunrise. It helps big time. But most people have no clue about that. Because when you know it happens 3% of the times, oh, this is 3%, 3%, 90%, 3%, 3%, 3%. Let's look at the statistic again one more time for you. So 90% of the times it give you 5%, and 60% of the times it give you 10% correction. Okay. And 25% of the times it give you more than 30% correction. And that's kind of what happened. Yeah. Like that, like that, like that, like that. So well done. More millionaires made not during a bull market, it's during a market crash, by the way. Just to let you know right now. Um, cool. So what I'm gonna do now, I kind of want to share you some statistics. Okay, now let's go to our normal way. Now let's go to our training where we go to our website, just go to benghang.co.uk, and you go through one by one, like how we always do, or always does, how we always do. So, and then you click on that, you click on that, you click on that, you click on that, and you click on this, you click on everything basically. And you click on that, and you click on that, and you click on that. Yeah, we do it so many times. So, yeah, wherever you do it so many times. Yes, yes, it's true. You eat pasta a lot of times. You eat chicken a lot of times. So we used to be at greed. I was very happy when we are at greed, you know. I want us to stay greed longer, so it crashed a little bit more. So it's quite fast. We reach neutral already. So that's crazy. So we're neutral right now. Um, let's look at if any smart people are buying stocks right now. So we talk about it. This is quite a lot of time. Just to recap back for those who are new. The way we do this is when we see insiders. Oops, where are we? Um, where is gone? Anyway, I'm gonna open again. Do do. Which one? This one. Go to charts. So the way we do this is all my websites. If you're students, you should be able to get it. So tell me the way do we use. Just tell me right now. There's a crossover here, April 28. Would you buy or would you sell? Down the chat box for me, real quick. 20. Oh, what is this? April 28. Would you buy or would you sell? Then the chat box for me. Okay, so well done. So to train you a little bit. So if you say buy, let's say whether it's true or not, April 28. So April 28, where all the insiders, the big whales, like Warren and all of that, April 28, where is it? It will be here. So congratulations. You bought it at the place where the world has almost never seen before. Okay. So I told you about how do you aim the bottoms as well in the past. Gonna recap everything we told will make sense. The volume has to spike a little bit. If you want the correction, you want the volume to spike. Okay, if you want it to stop bottoming, like here, you can see there's a volume spike. You'll be like, oh, it stops bottoming. Wow, this information itself is at least 50K already. Can you see the top volume just right there? So if you want to know, is this gonna stop? You wait for the spike in the volume. Wow, that's incredible. Wow, that's crazy. Anyway, um, while some other people are looking at so many other different things and they don't know which one to look at because there are millions of things on the internet and you never know which one to look at. And so, what is this? 48, 48, 48. Okay. So this is a show that a lot of people are investing at the moment. I was just saying that when everyone is already invested, this is the retail traders are already invested. That's just a bit tricky. You want to get in when 2023, when it's low like that, like March time. No one wants to invest in the stock market. Everyone thinks no one wants to learn trading and investing in March. Everyone thinks it's a scam. That's where you want to like go all in. So on fear and greed, we are on fear now. That's crazy. That's very fast. Let's see. 1 year time. Our strategy says extreme fear, which is 15th of November. You know, and if you bought on the 15th of November-ish, I want to say congratulations because it went up to 95 yesterday or last week, crypto. It went to 61, which is almost at neutral or greed again. And it came back down again. Yeah. So if you want to buy crypto like Ethereum and all of that, you can. It's just right at the bottom here. What else do we have? NAAIM report, all of that. That's okay. Bearish. No one was bearish in the market. 28. Okay. No one's bearish in the market. So, okay. So, where's the fear? Okay. People often ask, should you buy? Um, I'll tell that at the end, okay? Anyway, so let's go to our individual companies right now, market screener. We'll talk about the homework. Remember, you have to go to the back test the date I gave you, January and February this year and last year's as well. Um, Actually, if you read the guidance a little bit, the transcript, you kind of already know what to do. But anyway, so we're gonna read it together. So go to news, all news. Um, where do we go? So we go on here, topics. We talk about looking at what is it? Commodities, equity, and then they have like corporate finance and all of that. That's what we want, corporate finance. So a lot of different things. But when you are back testing, you can't filter so many things. You have to kind of filter all news. Okay. You can only filter so many things when you look at the recent one. So we're gonna go for guidance increase, guided decrease. Maybe what I would do, I'm thinking about should I just choose one first? Anyway, let's do it. Profit warning. Oh, margin expansion, margin pressure. Margin is really important. I want to click everything basically. Let's click everything. Okay, let's do everything. So you get a clue of what's going on. So dividend, we don't really want to know about this. So shares, not really. City group. So I want to change the country. Um, change country. Okay, yes, just change country. You can do other countries as well. Once you've done all the US, you can change it to other countries as well. Just to let you know, I know kind of told you already. Um, the four things that is really, really hot topic in Trump administration. Four sectors are so hot. So I'm gonna tell you right now a little bit. I was thinking to the end is gonna be your defensive sector. This is like your war sector. This is like your Lockheed Martin. Lockheed Martin. This is like your RTX. This is like all of that crazy stuff. Yeah, your defensive, your war zone. That's the first thing that's quite do quite well. The second thing that might also quite do quite well, where Trump wants the rate to go down. So if dollar continues to go lower, emerging countries, their stock might do quite well. Last year, emerging countries do 10% more than SP. But if you continue with holding your pound, then you are fine. But if you change the dollar, you're probably screwed last year. And because of all these wars and stuff like that, and we don't buy it straight away, by the way. We also buy it according to our strategy. And that means when you are filtering companies, especially an extreme field for apprentices, you are filtering through the more than 30%. You can also filter through all of them. Anyone that's more than 30%. Okay. Usually we will just choose technology. Technology is still gonna be really nice. Usually we just choose communication sectors. Those are two sectors that's always outperform. They do outperform last year. They did really well. But if anything gonna come in, probably, a little bit of this. But this is not gonna be like long term. This is gonna be doing it at extreme fear. And also your gold and silver and your copper and shit. If you want to know how gold, copper, silver, and gold is gonna do, read gold mining companies guidance. They kind of give you a hint of what to do. And gold, silver, all of that is very seasonal. So you have to go through seasonal charts as well, or step two of our $1 million strategy. Anyway, let's come back. Um, the things that might not do well. I can't tell you the things that might not do well because if you, as long as, because because if you go year over year, 1st of January to 31st of December, there are some stocks that might not do well, but as long as you do it right at the bottom, which is extreme field, you're quite fine. Anyway, so let's read this a little bit. So Netflix beats revenue estimate as subscriber reaches. Let's click on Netflix to see what's going on. So um is Netflix up or down? I think they went down. So Netflix beat estimates as subscriber reaches. Netflix exceeded Wall Street. It crosses 3 to 5 subscribers. Revenue came in, topping forecasts. This is 2 minutes ago, by the way. Monthly viewer rose 10% thanks to the large final season of the Stranger Things. It's a final season, which generate 15 billion view per minute. Netflix also streamed 2 National Football League games on a Christmas day released another film called Knife Out. Investor remain focused. 82.7 billion pursuit of the Warner Bros. Studio. They're trying to buy a studio cash. On entertainment assets, fan of hostile bid from Paramount Skydance. Paramount also trying to buy Warner's Bros. Netflix amended its merger agreement to an all-cash offer for the film and television. Its extensive content library and major, including Game of Thrones. So I think Warner's Bros. Got like Game of Thrones, Harry Potter is also from Warner's Bros. DC comic like Batman and Superman, probably also from them. And all revised cash agreement will enable an expedited timeline to a stockholder vote. Netflix co-CEO said, to provide a greater financial certainty, our revised all-cash agreement will enable a much more faster and okay. Normally we don't want companies to pay via their stocks. Okay. And Warren Buffett makes a very, very big mistake long time ago where he buy companies via stocks. And it's bad because stocks keeps going up. If you buy via cash, cash is not going to keep going up. In his notes, Netflix said the Warner Brothers acquisition will provide with its even broader, higher quality selections of movies for subscribers. The company says obtained commitment of 59 billion bridge loan on December to support the acquisition. Increased bridge commitment by 8.2 to support an all cash. In financial results, Netflix reported 56 for the fourth quarter, slightly above, just a little bit above estimate. You want to be big time above if you want to buy this big time. Netflix forecasts continue to grow with revenue 50 to 51. Okay, there's a guidance here. So for a lot of you who already been doing guidance, you just have to add this all in and you can tell whether you should buy it or not already. Okay, so because you have to compare, ad revenue expect to roughly double. That's it. That's what I say for Netflix. So if you want to know whether we should buy Netflix right now or not, um, you have to plot all of the guidance graph that you got in the past 6 years and you put it on and you look at if the difference is so huge that you want to do it. If it's not huge, you'll be like, you know, what's going on? Yeah, that's what happened. So Warner's Bro is okay. So Netflix want to buy Warner's Bro. It's quite interesting to know how much they pay per share. Warner's Bro right now is $28 per share. Okay. Let me show you. Warner's Bro. Okay. Okay, let's look at Warner's Bro. Warner's Bro right now in the market, okay, the proper market right now is wow, almost at all-time high. Wow, 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 wow. Netflix want to buy this guy. That's crazy. Okay. So this is kind of new company and Netflix want to eat them alive. 2022, this company comes out. It's like Instagram, it just comes out. Facebook want to buy it straight away. And it came down like that. And it turns out to be, Instagram turns out to be quite a good investment. Facebook was panicking initially. Facebook trying to create their own Instagram initially, and it wasn't so good. And they decided to spend billions to buy a new company called Instagram. Anyway, let's get Warner's Bro. So it went down big time and then it went up again. So the price of Warner's Bro right now is 28 per share. So how much Netflix pay for this guy? Let's have a look. Um, Actually, you can look at the market cap of. Okay, let's get market cap. So let's use AI to help us. What is the market cap of Warner's Bro? So it's 70 billion. So Netflix pays 68 billion. Let me see how much Netflix paid for this guy. What is it? Commitment, how much? 82? 82 billion. Yeah, 82 billion because he's trying to fight with Paramount. Okay. Okay, interesting. Let's get Warner's Bro for a second. Warner's Bro PE ratio. Okay, Warner's Bro PE ratio. Probably don't have it yet. They're probably still losing money. It's 150 because it's a new company. Okay. The growth rate of Warner's Bro. It's around 4 or 5. Okay. 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 Anyway, um, there's an outgoing high profile 82 discovery assets with all the assets 82. Paramount trying to do it for 100. Wow. They really show that investor interest can push implied valuations well above the current market cap. They pay even more than what is advertised, which is what? 28. Sorry, what is the market cap? 70 billion. They pay 80, 100 billion. Mm-mm-mm. If you break down how those different currencies was. Yes, please. Anyway, let's come back to reading. So we've done Cintas United offers, Netflix, American Power, Insider, Soul City, Higher Garden Limited, Insight, Announced Board, Old, Wells Fargo, DR Holton, result for less than expected. DR Holton, this is a real estate company. Builders, home builders, interest rate coming down, home builders usually do quite well. Warren Buffett owns a little bit of this Holton. And it's been coming down since he bought it last year. It came down probably 30% since he bought it. And the 3M says Trump tariffs threat over Greenland could then. Okay, let's read this a little bit. You'll be like, oh, what's going on? Individual companies is going to tell you what happened to Greenland tariffs threats. Tariffs is not going to come in. Tariffs is going to come in the 1st of February. And then another 25% in June time. And these are small matter. For me, I think it's very small matter. You know, the big matter is actually Fed increasing interest rate. That's the big matter. That will crash the market big time. Warner's income. Let's see. Procter and Gamble seen posting in line that could leave shares. Southern Airline expect higher US electricity demand. So electricity demand, we talked about it last time. Utility companies now can be the next technology companies because people are spending so much money on electricity just for the AI. Earnings, DR, bonds, 3M, Montrose Environment, Emirates Paychecks, Hasbro, Inter, Mountain. Let's continue. This is 6 hours ago. United Airline offers upbeat premium travel demand. So even I click next, it don't really go next. Look, I click next, it doesn't really go next. Oh, it does. Let's look. Apple, read, Montrose, DR, Fastenal, declare. So this is what you do. This is literally your homework. When I say January, you change the date to January. You change this date to January and February. You go through one by one. And then I want you to, be able to plot to realize this. And then the guidance suddenly came down and the market come down after the guidance come down. I mean, before the market comes down, yeah, after the market. guidance come down. And sector, home at Linda. Blackstone closes. So you look for the big one. You look for some of the famous one if you know about it. If you don't know about it, that's fine. Just open it. Digital. Uh, Intel Digital issues full year guidance. 3 and fourth quarter beat. Lululemon 6 outsource of private equity firm. Okay, let's look at that. Modiv Ki Chu V announced retirement. Soluna Fasten. And we're just reading through anything that give guidance, be it quarterly. Let's open this again. US profit jumps. When all the companies are good, stocks usually continues to go up. Yeah. That means no big deal. People will keep buying the dip. Apple tops China smartphone. Let's open this a little bit. Sees commercial fasten. 3M sets guidance. Okay, let's read a little bit now. So we've done a little bit of Netflix. Netflix, we need to read a little bit more just to compare what numbers it is. It says growth expected to double. Revenue growth 50.7 billion. But we need to know the exact percentage in order to make a decision to buy or not. DR Horton. Let's look at this. It's a home builder company. Income dropped a little bit, but top is better than the analyst. Affordability constraints and cautious consumer sentiment continue to impact new home demand. Not many people are buying home. We expect our sales incentive to remain elevated. The extent will depend on the strength of the demand, changes in mortgage rate throughout the year. Project a full year 33, and people are expecting 33.3. So they are projecting 33.5. So you have to compare last quarter. How much is it? If it is huge, then you can buy. If it is not, then you don't buy it. Home builder decreased 9% for the first full. Numbers of home closed down. Company cancellation. For the ongoing quarter, expect revenue 7.3. But they didn't really tell us what happened before. So you have to open the company's website to look at it. Recognize volatility and continue to adjust to enhance long-term value. Okay. Looks cool. Buying it at extreme fears is okay as well. DR Horton. But we have to read. We have to read the difference in the guidance in order to make a decision. You always have to plot at least 4, 6, 8 quarters of the guidance. Yeah, that's on week 4. Trump 3M company say Trump tariff threat over Greenland could then. Let's read it what it says. President Trump trade wars tension could weigh. 3M, a diversified industrials and consumer products manufacture export about 700 million and import around 250 back. Okay, so this is a US company importing 7 million worth of goods to the Europe, which makes potential tariffs impact significant. If you run just 10%, it could expand to 25%. You can get something in order of 60 to 70 million. So you use that, you minus the net profit of the company. 3M projecting faster revenue growth after closing out the fourth quarter. But added tariffs aren't embedded. They don't really take tariffs into the outlook that we had a few weeks ago. Proposed tariffs disputed threatening 10, expand 25. Countries with a 10% duty early in the year, which could expand 25% by mid-year in June. Brown says all of that. Companies expect sales growth 4% sales growth up from 24 billion. Okay, 24 billion minus like whatever that is, 70 billion. This is 10%. That's like, a little bit billion. down. In the fourth quarter, 3M posted net income 577. Yeah, use 577 net income minus the 17 million that they're gonna pay to tariffs if this is a 10%. It part down from 728 in the same quarter, partly due to higher cost. Margin weighed heavily on results. Analysts say margin were negative surprise in the quarter, pointing to a 360 basis drop. Margin drop, stocks gonna drop big time. Consumer segment was the main drag with operating income margin falling, a shortfalls, all of that. So you probably expect some students are already shorted this. What is this? 3M in 20th of whatever that is. Let's get 3M. Oh, it's got stock trading. Let's see. So 3M was very happy going out like that. Big time. And then suddenly today, after the news come out about margin not doing well, it came down quite hugely. Can it continue to come down if the tariffs continue? Which I actually don't think tariffs 10% will continue. Yeah, so it came down, came down a little bit. The support buying at the support can be quite nice as well. Okay. And in order to short this, you have to compare. We are not doing compare here. You have to open the previous quarter and compare if the numbers are huge or small. Okay. It's the same for April. Initially, market comes down, but afterwards, it's all fine. Procter and Gamble seen posting in line quarter. Let's read this a little bit. Recent underperformed consumer staples. Reiterate guidance. Expect gross sales of 0.3. Comparison last year, port strike, government shutdown, all of that. Analysts point to a low to mid point. Near-term cautious consumer trend. Okay. We want to be at least 10%, remember, to buy something. Southern CEO, let's see if it's more than 10% in order for us to buy or short. If you want to show, you want to make sure it's more than 10%. CEO of this airline, Southern, actually, AI, more electricity is being used. So if you look at it carefully, yeah, you know more electricity is being used, okay? And you'll be like, how can we make money on this? Utility sectors, electricity is about to grow 8% through the next 4 years. So electricity is going to be crazy. Utilities. Southern expects stability on pricing compared to operator JPM, but Trump administration emergency auction proposal possibly makes sense. So let's copy all of this. And you ask AI which stocks will do well here and which will do bad. You copy and paste the whole thing there. Structurally, bullish news for the whole sector is part of AI, power grid, consumer. Who will win? Let's have a look. Stocks, high utilities in high growth regions. Southern Company, Duke Energy, Dominion Energy, Duke Energy, like Florida, AI. This guy probably already went up. Okay, it's went up since December, so not too fast. I'm going to tell you eventually it's going to come to all-time high. Do you believe me? Yeah, Duke Energy and all of that, it's come to all-time high. Utility sectors is a defensive sector. So even today, markets crash big time. Defensive utility sectors is still in the green. Let me show you finviz.com. Here. a little bit. So today everything was red. Microsoft down one, Nvidia down four, Amazon down three. What is this? Consumer defensive, Coca-Cola, Pepsi Cola, all of that was green a little bit. Intel, some news going on. Apple was down big time. Financial was gonna down a lot big time from just because of the credit card interest rate. All this was down a little bit. Industrial was down a little bit here. Google was down a little bit. So healthcare was okay. UNH was okay. So you can see where's the utilities is here. Utilities is here. Utilities is not even down. Utilities was like a little bit green as well. Yeah. Um, yeah, sector rotation a little bit. So if you want to buy some utility sectors, I would say congratulations to you. Dominant energy, you will see us also do quite well. Let's have a look. Because Southern Company today told you it's actually if you go back to a bit further of the guidance, you probably know this already. Let me show you. Where is it? If you go back to the guidance in whatever that is, yeah, Southern. This is the electricity company, okay? Yeah, electricity production company, all of that. So if you go back to this guidance, how many years ago? Like a few months ago, they give you hint already. So you don't believe, let's do it together. So today is January, Feb 20th. Okay, a lot of our apprentices already read the guidance, but let me show you. February, I want to show you. Um, where are we? So I want to show you before. So adjust. December, Southern Wind approval. Downgrades, six. Okay, let's find this earning guidance. For those who don't know how to do earning guidance, I'm gonna show you how to do earning guidance. Actually, I'm gonna go through market screener first. So I'm just click on that, Southern, just like that. Um, it doesn't have to be Southern. It can be Duke Energy that I show you just now. It could be, Anyway, let's look at what if they say it already. So, December energy sector a little bit. Maybe we'll open this a little bit. What else? Southern wind approval, win. Fed sick new head amendment. Elevated community investing people stipulated Alabama. Which I'm looking for last time earning guidance. Yep. November 08, Duke Energy exceeds expectation thanks to electricity demand and the rise of AI. No one knows about this yet in November 08. Literally no one knows. Duke Energy tells you already. Can't make up his mind. Goldman Sachs, November. And it's very similar to like the BMW situation that I show you the car companies where Tesla told you that they are doing bad in December and moving forward. Boston. Okay, let's read this a little bit. Earnings. This is October. Let's see what they say. Is there any guidance in October? Southern Airline. Sorry, Southern. I'm trying to read for the guidance. Let's see. Where's the guidance? If there is no guidance, we're gonna read the transcript. So let's click presentation and earning package report the quarter. Where's the transcript? Do earnings call. This one is a transcript, okay? But anyway, let's read it. Sector update, nothing to do with this. But you can see, Southern, this is a sector update. Receive approval from the government to add 9,000 megawatts for the new generation resources to meet electricity demand. So they even ask for permission. So this is 19th of December. Hint there already. Duke Energy. Just give me a minute. I'm just gonna drink some water. Mm-mm-mm. Duke Energy. Um, what date? November 08. If you've been doing our homework, if you've been reading this, better than CEO, bounced by the grow demand of energy thinking thingy because of AI. And how much more? Exceed 8 point exceed a little bit while reaches 1.81, 1.75. So earnings from 1.46 to 1.69 year on year. Utility sectors usually don't grow at all. Electricity is always the same. This year electricity, next year electricity usually is the same because the people is always the same. Growth is driven by the electrification of the residential commercial building, as well as the rise of the artificial data center has signed approximately 3 gigawatts of energy contract this year with players such as Digital, Realty, and Edge, and anticipate continued growth. In response, plans to add 13 more gigavolt over the next 5 years. So they're telling you big time. It's not a one term thing, it's a big time thing. So the group has tightened its annual earnings forecast to between. It prepares 5 years investment plan, include construction of new nuclear energy, recover plans to recover 1 point storm related costs by early. CEO targeting high end 5 to 7 earnings growth starting 2028. Okay, so here is kind of give you a hint like what sectors might do well. Okay, that most people still don't know. How do you know most people still don't know? If the stock's still crashing, that means most people still don't know. But we're gonna continue a little bit. So this is October 30th. Just now we'll read this. This is November, okay? Let's look at October a little bit. We just want the guide. Let me see. There's gonna give us guidance here. Probably not. Yeah, I have to find it. Let's continue finding. Announce rank reports presentation. Maybe it's some presentation. Let's see. Presentation. They should give us the slides. So that's the slide origin document. Okay, let's click that then. Cool. 30th of October. So these are the update. Let's see if they give us guidance, okay? Um, growth compared to the previous year, data center up 17%, all of that, sales growth, large, through 2029. Let's sort of continue proactive funding, address equity needs, Southern value, appendix. Didn't really give us the guidance. Let me find permalink. Let's go to permalink. Anyway, let me see if I can find. Southern report. Southern report momentum electricity demand and continue to build all of that. Okay, let's see. Usually we'll be able to find it here, but I'm gonna alternate F, the word expect. So, we expect to deliver our financial objectives. Okay, that's has incredible. Southern company has incredible bright future ahead. Okay, let's continue. We expect what? Long-term fourth quarter earning. We expect to provide additional long-term trajectory, which, as you highlighted before, could translate increasing base from our consistent with our comments throughout 2020-2025. As part of our communication, we expect to provide additional clarity where our long-term EPS growth starts, which could potentially as early as 2020-2027. Let's continue. Expect great interest. We expect all of that. Expect. Yeah, so if you read more a little bit of the guidance a little bit, this is the whole sector. You already done the whole utility sector. You just want to read, you read one company, you done the whole utility sectors. So when you read it a little bit, you'll be like going to the guidance a little bit. You read through, oh, they're using power, they're getting permission from the government since November. You'll be like November, October. Let's have a look. Duke Energy since let's see what day. Duke Energy has been going down every day, and then suddenly what is this? This is October time, November time, November time. Yeah. Starting from kind of December time, where things started to spike up a little bit, and it's still climbing. The reason why it's not spiking up so much because it's quite a long-term thing. Since 2020-2027, they say, you know, the earnings growth is going to start translating in 2020-2027. So they are probably still building it now, asking for permission now. Yeah. So where is our AI? AI, yeah. Southern View Energy. Read a little bit of their guidance. You will have incredible, conviction about what's going on. Okay. So in order for us to invest in a lot of these companies, you want to kind of make sure you want to make sure what? You want to make sure you don't exchange your pound to dollar like that unless you think the dollar is going to go up. Otherwise, you're just going to break even. Okay, these are all utility sectors. So you can buy the utility ETF called utility ETFs. And if you can find utility ETF that is hedge GBP or whatever currency that you have, let's type utility ETF. Is any hedge one? Yeah, let's type this on Google. They can buy on, I don't know, Trading 212 or IBKR. These are just temporarily while we are waiting for the market to crash. Because when the market crash, this will still continue to be strong. But when the market crash, you want to sell all of this utility and buy into the high growth one because that's where your money multiply big time. These are just like, a little bit for you. But let's have a look. Utilities a little bit. They have called IUSUGB, yeah, and IUSUL if you want the one has hedge on GBP, but may not currently see hedge. Oh, really? Your GB return will reflect. Let me see. The L1. Yep, this one's gonna. Oh, this is SP5 though. Core hedge equity exposure. What is this? Utility sector exposure, GBP listing. That's not hedge. We want to be hedge. They don't really have a hedge one. Why this work? IGUS remove GDP risk on your core. ICUC give you. There currently aren't many utilities that are natively hedged GBP available in trading to one to. A typical solution is to combine a GBP broad ETF for overall equity and a sector ETF for your utility. So what are they saying? So let's Um, uh, Give me a list of that I can buy on IBKR then. Here's are the cleaners that are tradable. The first one is IUSUL, not FX hedge, but do not explicitly hedge currency back to GBP. Underlying stock may be USD. Okay. So they don't really have the hedge one. Hmm. How to get hedge while holding? There are no major pure. You won't find hedge UTF, hedge USB back, world hedge. Okay. They won't have any hedge. Sector hedging at cost. Utility. ETF currency hedge. What is this? I share listed. All right. So it looks like if you buy this, you have to throw away your pound to get that. So if you want to throw away your pound, you have to look at the seasonality. If you want to go to Forex, write it down. If you want to look at Forex, you must go through seasonality. Otherwise, if you want to go to anything, you must go to seasonality. Otherwise, you will never make money. This is our step 2, remember? Because it's reality. Pound supposed to go really well for the January to US dollar. January really well. Pound supposed to crash August and September. Let's see what happens. So GBP US dollar. Do. So September and August. Okay, pound crash a little bit. September and August a little bit coming down. September, August. Yeah, a little bit down like that. Now, since January, yeah, it's probably very similar. Okay, because we are very, very expensive right at the tops as well. Okay. Let's continue our equity. So it's showing that February, March, maybe pound is gonna fall a little bit compared to US dollar. Okay. This is more years. What is it? This 20 years, this 20 years. Why is it different though? GBP season. Okay, pound has been going sideways, which is what we saw, and pound is gonna fall. So pound usually go down in July. That's what they say. July is just going down like that. So, where's July? June, July. Can you see? Crazy. 1st of July, guys. Pound just went down like that. I'm not even joking. Let me show you again. Do you see it says July? Right at the top here. That July. Is it July, August? Around there. Yeah, just like that. Just like that. Obviously, it's like a rocket and everything. Nothing looks like up and down like that. And that's what we are seeing. A little bit. June, July, August. Just like that a little bit. Okay? And if you compare with some weak one, if you choose some really weak one, let me show you some weak one. Really, really weak one. Just type GBP, okay? Just British pound. Let's say British pound. You can choose some really weak one. Some people are Singapore, you can look at Singapore, Swiss franc, euro, and all of that, British euro, and all of that. Let's choose some really weak one. What's gonna be the weak one? So you can choose one strong and one weak one. So let's see. Um, which one is clear? Canadian gone up quite bigly. Let's choose something that's super weak. Um, Super weak. Because you choose a strong one, you choose a super weak one, money is there. British pound usually in January they're quite strong. So if you choose another one that is weak, you know, be easier. Um, okay, let's try Canada, Canadian dollar. Just trying to see what's the weakest currency in January, okay? How do we do that? I think my website has it. Let's go to my website because I just want to see the whole currency. You go on currency a little bit there. You look at the whole index of the currency. So Japanese was going up, so you don't do it against them. Swiss franc was going up, you don't do it against that. New Zealand was going up. Canadian was coming down. So if you do if you do GBP against Canadian, mm, you might be quite happy. Yeah, GBP against Canadian is like that. Okay, let's see what's happened to Canada. GBP against Canadian, like that a little bit. So what we see there, GBP against Canadian, you will see the graph go up. Okay, the rest was like sideways and stuff like that. This one go up like that. Okay, and that's what happened. This is the past 20 years time since whatever that is the date. And if you look at here, GBP against Canadian since January. Where's January? Where's January? January is probably here. Yeah, probably here. Yeah, it went up like that. Yeah, just went out like that. While the rest are coming down and stuff like that. Okay. So yeah, really powerful of how to trade Forex. People keep asking me how to trade Forex. That's how you trade Forex. You look at the strongest one and you look at the weakest one, and it went out like that. Yeah. If you do the both strong, you're gonna go sideways. But if you choose the strongest one and the weakest one, that's what they always do, life is gonna be easier for you. Yeah. And it helps a little bit when you do stocks because you know that if pound is gonna fall, then you don't really have to hedge pound so much. Let me show you. GBP against whatever that is. Where is it? GBP against USD. People spend millions of pounds, they still do not know about this strategy. I'm going to tell you right now. So based on what we see, January pounds against dollar went out a little bit, which it did. And then now February and March is probably going to come down. That's what it says. Okay, that's what it says. And March, April is going to come out a little bit. So on owning utility sectors, it should be okay. Should be okay. Not too bad. Not too bad. All right. Let's come back to where do we talk about just now? Why do I talk about that suddenly? Your utility sectors. Yeah, the ticket symbol. Just like utility, you should be able to find a little bit. Let's look at utility sectors. Utility ETF. Utility ETF. Vanguard Utility ETF. What else? Utility SPDF. No, there's a lot of utility ETF though. Yeah, this one. Invesco Utility SPUS. Yeah, because the data center, the electricity is only in the US currently. Okay. Not so much of other places. Buying it now is the same as people who bought it in August time. Let's look at the sectors. SP 500 PE ratio a little bit. Buying these style of things, you will almost guarantee you will never lose money. If you buy any of this, like you almost like never lose money. Yeah, you've bought the whole sector like that. Unless you bought like real estate, it's a bit tricky. If you buy material, a bit tricky as well. Industrial is a bit tricky. But yeah, normally you never lose money because it's always gone up. I will show you the graphs of all this. So utilities is PE is still quite cheap. Energy used to be 30, now becomes 16. Financial with the rate is a bit tricky a little bit there. The expensive one is info and real estate. Okay, okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah, note that down a little bit. I'm gonna note down later. Let's continue. So why do we suddenly talk about utility sectors? Because we are reading Southern. Yeah, small individual companies. A lot of students already read. And that's all go up. Utility sectors going up when the whole SP 500 was down, by the way. Let's look at United Airline a little bit. United Airline, upbeat, GK, all of that. Upbeat quarter, nothing much. Fastener Company, what is this? This is a industrial company. Reported sales. We need to compare and contrast. Intel Digital issue full year guidance 675. What about before? This is a wireless video AI company. Intel Digital. This is interesting. 3M. Did we talk about 3M just now? 3M tariffs. Yes, tariffs is going to get affected by this a little bit. It's an industrial company. Family products. Like cleaners, like air, like all of that. Lululemon. Trying to do all that. Who quit remains second largest to remake. Does on the board see for himself? He will not consider any settlement. Okay. Lululemon, it's a bit tricky because of the consumer sentiment a little bit. DR, we read that just now. Home builders in the US have been leaning on mortgage rate buy downs and offering smaller, cheaper home option. The incentive helped to drive a 3% net sales. We expect to remain elevated to DR Horton, home builder ETF. Also quite nice. Let's have a look. Home builder ETF. Do. Wow, it's been up big time already. DR Horton. Okay, scroll middle here. Okay. We've got 3M, we got what else? Lululemon, and then we've got what? DR Horton, we've got US Bank. Profit jumps. Let's see. Banks, you want to read about what they say, what their outlook is. Rate cuts has lifted loan demand. US Bank reduced deposits. Have which record consumer deposit this quarter. A lot of people having money in their bank. Fees, profit, the banks. Yeah, you have to read the transcript to get more of what they say. Telix Pharmaceutical are up 1 for a year ago. Share was down. This is interesting. We could potentially buy this. I want to compare. 28 up 142 a year earlier. Wow, almost double, almost 50%. It's an Australian one though. That's a bit tricky. But if you plot all the 8 earning guidance graph, you can see if this has increased like never before or not. If it hasn't, then it's a good buy. It's not. If it is not, then Chai Apple. That's okay. Up 16.8 a year ago, driven by iPhone sales, strong market response. And 3M. So that's almost what we saw. So it's gonna keep going to the back like that. Okay. Now let's go straight away to what we want. So go to corporate finance and remove everything and just if you want to short, just go to guidance decrease, profit warnings, and see if they give anything. Netflix expect 0.76, but other people are expecting 0.81. So Netflix is going to come down big time. So Netflix is now down 5%. It's already down big time, guys. It's like crashing like the rocket right now. Yeah, it's crashing a little bit. Why I say that? Because without looking at the chart, because it says expecting 0.76, but people are expecting 0.81. And this is quite a huge number decrease. Yeah. So I think the market are still crashing if this is a situation. Okay, it's okay. Shift Minot, Kinder, Procter and Gamble outperform. Warns lower profit. There was this Hong Kong company. Germany expect losses as sugar markets remain depressed. Treasury wine estates. All of that lowers the guidance of Innovis. Reaffirm Abercrombie Tempest annual sales. Talk about the retails stocks, the shoes and all of that. Lululemon, if they have earning guidance comes out, it's probably going to come down. Nike, there's earning kind of guidance comes down, come out, it's probably going to go down and all of that. AB lowers their guidance. This is interesting. RB lower their guidance. Let's look at what is RB. RB is a therapeutic drug company. So they lower their guidance on the 8. Yeah. So you do this. Okay, let's see how much they lower. 2.61 from previous 3.28. Wow, this is huge. Related to acquire in-process research and other expenses. Maybe it's just this guy. Okay. So you could have short this guy since 8th of January. Yeah. Why? Because it dropped more than 10%. 3.23. This is all coming back. This is what we learned. 3.32 minus 2.61. Your salary last year was 3.32, and this year they say your salary is 2.61. You're going to be mad because it's more than 10-20% drop. You minus it. The old number minus new number. 3.32 minus this one divided by the old number. 0.6, 0.3. 0.6 divided by 3.32. 18%, 20% drop in your salary. So this one should have gone down since 8th of January. Okay, let me show you what happened for RB. A lot of apprentices are screaming profits already since 8th of February, 8th of January. Where is 8th of January? Let's look. It went up a little bit, give you a chance. Okay, here. So let's say you miss that. Let's say you get on the 9, you were relaxing on the 8. Let's go on the 9. Every day you're screaming the profits like that using our strategy. Yeah. Now we learn about bottom up strategy. Yeah. Normally it's for apprentices, but I share with you. So bottom up, so you can ask ChatGPT, what about other sectors, the friends and family of the same person? So you do the same thing again. I will show you. Where is the guidance? This guy. So you just do very similar thing. You just open this and just type here what stocks will do well and what won't do well. Well, is this company specific or industrial specific or sector specific? You copy and paste the whole thing. The the market screener. Just point out this is the most company. This is mostly company specific bearish. Okay, not industrial wide pharma. Then you'll be like, okay, you can't really do the whole industrial thing. That won't do well. Big pharma, Pfizer, Gillette start worrying, paying too much of pipelines. Let's say what's the reason? They say so they do some R&D, research and development. They're paying for them to invest in themselves. Most companies have that. If people who don't invest in themselves, the company is gonna go bankrupt. So you always invest in yourself. Yeah, R&D. Apple has huge R&D. Nvidia has huge R&D. The best company in the world, Tesla, all of that. They invest in research and development. You know, they try something, or if it doesn't work, that's fine. They change to another project. Apple's trying to come up with the Apple car. They try, oh, it doesn't work, they change to a new project. It's fine. They waste billions and then they change to the next project straight away. You know, the companies are always trying new things. They're not living in fear. Oh, what if I try Apple car if it doesn't work? What if I waste billions of money? You know, and what happened to our millions of shareholders? They're gonna be sad with us. They don't care. They just do it. And then they try. In order to come up with Apple 17, thousands of failures have to go through on research and development. Then you have the next big thing. Donald Trump don't become a president today. I told him many times. He almost gets shot. He failed and he tried it again. So even companies, they always have research and development. Usually it's 30% of their revenue. Crazy. It's crazy. Okay. Almost all companies, they will have it. It's a very healthy thing when people invest in themselves gradually. So I want to say well done for a lot of you who decided to continuously to invest in yourself. So stock won't do well. What is this? Pfizer. Stocks that may do well. Pharma. Strong with strong organic pipeline. Deal-driven pharma to organic pharma. So Lilly, Merck, all of that. Contract research. So this is a little bit company specific. It says here. Earning means acquire worse than expected. Why is very short term? Okay, what about this? We start worrying, paying too much for a pipeline, earning dilution from deals. Bristol, Pfizer, Gillette. Let's look at this. Bristol's as well. You know, these guys started to come down since. Let's see if Bristol get affected. If they don't, maybe the next earning might get affected a little bit. Yeah, a little bit coming down, like at 15th of January. Things started slowly. Everyone started slowly coming down. Just like the BMW, Volvo, and all of that thing. Cool. Yeah, we might come back to this very soon. So let's read that one more time. So they say the reason why it came down is because of acquired in-process research and development. So it's a little bit company specific, but it's still cool to know this a little bit. Expect 3Q4. What about the full year? Expect the full year to be 9 down. It's around 10% down, 9.9 to around that. We could short this. Let's do that. B. This is just what we are finding today. This is 20th of Jan today. We're talking about utilities, sectors. The ETF might do quite well when, might do well when if market continues to go down, and you want to sell them at resistance. You always go to resistance and put it back to some high growth stocks, because these utility stocks usually grow at 7 to 8%. You saw that just now, and 7 to 8% is not a get rich quick scheme. Especially for people who started small. Anyway, so and then what else? Sectors. This is like your Southern. This is like your Duke Energy. You can plot the earning guidance graph. If you find that they change a lot, you can just choose one of these company and do it. That's fine. we're looking at this RB. RBs are very company specific things going on here. And just gonna copy the whole thing. Guidance decreased a little bit. Okay, cool. So usually we will continue a little bit. Oh, okay. So these are all the negative one, all right? Tally 6. This is RB since 08, a little bit late. AB Food, Primark, weak Primark. AB Food issues warning because of weak Primark. Okay, let's have a look at that. ATS going concern. You can short this antiques holding. Exxon. Expect Q4 upstream impact due to liquid sales price. Narrow earnings guidance for the year. AZZ. Let's continue. Exxon provides Penguin solution. Nike path to profit likely to take longer because of China. Kunpeng, we can short these guys as well. Cameo going concern. All these going concern, we can just short them big time. What's going on is this? Tough gone. I think because of wow, there's so many going concern. Why? Okay, let's look at their stock price. Kunpeng first. Can't find. Let's go to the next one. Cameo. Cameo resources though. Not sure which one is it. Is it this one? It's not. Cameo resources. All these are very small companies. Anyway, let's open it all of them up. Maybe you will find other platform. Where is all this going concern? Let's see what's going on with all this. Is this a trap? Wow, all this going concern. That's crazy. Because of the filter that I do on the market screener. So, if you have shorted this since when they say going concern on December, would you make money or not? Let's look. You can find it here. Maybe you can find it like in IBKR. It's not really there, but I think you can find it. Okay, we can find it here. So November, December coming down like that. But they don't really show January. I think this company is too new. Miner Explore for the following gave unqualified opinion, expressed doubt that can continue as a going concern. Noble Mineral Exploration. Probably can't find this as well. Oh, I want to do this Forex sentiment. Just give me a second, yeah? Because last time we do, if I show you the recording, we did France. This was quite nice. And some people shorting them as well, making some money. So well done. Let's open all of this up. Just show you how to do this. Oh, there's a lot. Let's go a bit easier. France 40, Germany, SPX, Nasdaq, UK, US. Let's see at this. What's going on? Change topic a little bit. Wow, you still have full attendance. You guys are strong. You guys are strong. Um, where are we? Let me open that up. Just give me a minute. Oh, why is it not opening? It's not really opening. It's very fine today. Wow. They don't allow me to watch it. It's weird. It is weird. Oh my God. There's something there. Let's verify first. Yeah, this I think is open. This is open. This is open. This is open. Wow, they're not opening for me. It's crazy, isn't it? Okay, AUD open it for me. And aim the top, aim the bottom. So you have to a bit of screenshot to the back to see what's going on. Because you have to see that it has turned before. Only then you have a conviction to say it's gonna turn. Like at the bottom here, it came down. At the top here, you went up. So if you want this to go up, you kind of have to be the top here, which is what we are not at the moment. It's kind of in the middle at the moment for AUD US dollar. So quite important. We just want something right at the top, you know? Anyway, I don't know why it's all doing this. Let's remove all of this. So much. What is this? NZD USD. This is the top. It went up. NZD US dollar. Okay. We still need a little bit more to the back to see properly. Euro USD. Wow. This guy's going crazy. So whenever we at the top here, it tends to go up. You know. Look at the top here, you went up. You know, the top here, you went up a little bit. A little bit of a top, which it did went up. And whenever it's at the bottom here, it tends to come back down a little bit, which is what we are. So US dollar might get a little bit stronger tomorrow because it might come down a little bit there. Okay, let's look at these stocks. Let's look at what stocks is saying, okay? Because one stock is the same as all stocks. Usually. SB, this is the top. If it's there, if it is there, then you want to add some position on. Let's do a proper line. If you can see more, you'll be even better. Yeah. If it reaches here, you can add some position on already. So you see a little bit kind of there, and then it went up. A little bit of there. It went up a little bit. Now we are still here. We're waiting for this to reach this red line. Around 50-ish. Then it might go out a little bit. What about Nasdaq? Nasdaq is same. If you want this to go up, you want this to go up, it has to be the top here. Oops. So this guy has to be touching that red line, okay? So a little bit more. UK. Ooh, what's this? This is the. So what you do, if you want this to go up, wow, UK is giving you a sign, guys. Congratulations to you. If you draw it properly, you can see every time UK is at the bottom, things is gonna come down. Now you draw again, doink, 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 which is what we are right now. It came down a little bit. So that means if this guy touches the top line, can you see this top line a little bit? Then it will be time to buy. It's the same. When one index went up, chances are the whole index is going to go up. So here, it touches the red line, toy went up. Here, can you see it touches the red line? Especially stocks went up. So if this one touches this beautiful line, you want to make sure you have some position on, some buying position on. Okay. I'm only referring to the apprentices because I think the elite one can get ready to if you know um but personal finance is a personal thing. So if you want to know what to do, you need to, let me know. For the elite one, you can start buy, kind of get ready to buy. But before, for the rest, you probably, want to get like to the next level. US 30, and where are we? US 30, we are here. 30, we are here. And the bottom is here, went down. Bottom here went down. So now this is a little bit high. Wall Street is a bit tricky. If it is here, usually you went up. Let's look. Went up here. You went up. So we are almost touching this line. Wall Street showing us that tomorrow can be a bit tricky thing. This is US 30. This is Wall Street. Let's just do it one more time for you. So you see when we are at this line, for example, stock went up. So you just extend that line. You can see we touches that line again around here. Stock went up. And then you go here, it touches that line again. Stock went up. Ding, it touches this line again. Stock went up. And then now we are on this line. Yeah. So a little bit of pullback. Let them be a little pullback maybe, before it start coming down like that. This is US 30. If you can see more in the past, we only have October. If you can see more, you'll be like, wow, I'm so confident to do this. Cool. So yeah, two things, UK and that. Germany 30, France 40. Oh, have we done France? Okay, let's do France a little bit. So we are looking at the bottom here. It went down. At the bottom, it went down since we talk about that. That's crazy. Now what about Dubai? It has to be on the top here. So if it reaches the top almost there, then you know, market's gonna go up. You're gonna add some position on. Cool. So that's interesting. And so what are we suddenly talk about this just now? Yeah, going concern. All these going concern stuff stock actually came down. But a lot of these are quite small. Cameo, going concern, going concern, going concern. A lot of these you can't actually trade them because they are not on IG. They're too small. Okay, we'll do Nike. What is this? AZZ. Can we show these? So we need to draw the graphs on that. Antiques also going concern. AB issue food warnings. Yeah, the more than 10% is what we just saw. So in order to know what to buy, we going through guidance decrease. The reality of what you should be doing is to go to guidance increase. If you've done it already, let me know. Guidance increase, you open it. Positive, so you got any positive one. If things are very positive things, then we're going to be very positive. Margin expansion, sales growth, earnings growth, all of that. Let's see if there's a positive thing going on. We got old kangaroo, Simon, earnings, Xeon. Actually, let's change this a little bit. Rather than going through positive earnings surprise, guidance increase, margin expense, sales growth, rather than all of that, otherwise we have too much. Yep, that would be better. Oh, Netflix is still here. Why don't Netflix to be here? Positive earnings surprise, no need this. Positive sales surprise, no need. Intel Digital, this is all the guidance one. US. Ondas raises their revenue quite good. 170 used to be 128. Ondas is a very good stocks as well. Um, because of their guidance increase. So you have to plot the graphs. Yeah. To see if this 50 million is a lot or not. Taiwan Semiconductor was quite good. Okay, buying this is going to be buying extreme fear anyway. We're just trying to see the pattern to see if AI is gone. Interdigital is still doing well. This is an AI stock. So they're quite okay. If you Cool. Well done. That's almost it for now. Um, go through all of this, trying to find out which one is more than 10% or 20% or it has never happened before, you know? And when you want to add some position, you can add some position terms as well when that happen. All right. Hope you learned something new today. So, yeah, let me look at the chat box. All right, let's see. There's a lot of messages here. Happy Vishal, is it currently going down because they are currently buying warners? Miss a lot, but stronger back this year. Welcome, Theo. Long time. Welcome home. Maureen, I'm gonna have to night shift. That's fine. That's it. But we can take those trade today. Be back for utility. Yeah. Can you move questions to Q&A? Raven can see it. No, you have to put in the chat box for me to see it. Can we do a little bit of guidance practice interdigital? I was about to do. Interdigital is good. Let's go. Thank you, everyone. You're welcome. Andrew saying thanks. Andrew saying good night. Let me see what else. Dave, give us some good news, please. Wow. Leo saying thank you. You're welcome. Marian saying thanks. Nora saying thanks. Elvin saying thanks. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. When you extreme fears, just automatically add a little bit of position. Even though it might drop more, but just add a little bit rather than having no. This year pattern, as I show you before, is gonna be this pattern. Is gonna be like January a bit like that. Maybe February gonna go out a little bit, and then March probably gonna go down a little bit, and then we're probably gonna a little bit like that, and then there's a big drop. And then before it start going up big time. That's probably what's gonna happen like that. So this is like Jan. This is gonna be probably in a Feb, and this is probably gonna be April a little bit like that. This is probably gonna be October. Yeah, that's what happened. According to memorization. But well done, everyone. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm so excited for you because this year you can sense and feel it's gonna be the best year ever for the stock market. More millionaires is gonna be made this year than any other year. I'm so excited for the apprentices because you're gonna know exactly what to buy. You're gonna know exactly what to sell. You're gonna make so much more money than any other non-apprentices. So I'm just so excited for you. If you want to qualify, just book a call. On a week 3 training on the last video. And as you say, personal finance is a personal thing. So on that time, we're gonna book for a one-to-one. We're gonna draft exactly your plan step by step. All right. Well done, everyone. Kelvin, Bobby, RJ, Harriet, Barry. You think October will be the biggest drop? I think it will go up. Jay, Sharinisha, Misha. What do you think about Caledonian mining? Good. Plot the earning guidance graph for 5 years, a little bit there. Then we can see. Mining, I think is doing great. Yeah. Keep looking at the guidance if the mining is gonna continue to do well. Tio, you're welcome. Not saying thanks. Neil, long time, Neil. Welcome. Congratulations, Neil. So proud of you. Parek, long time. Where have you been? Awesome. So for people, you also know, for some people, when you just have around 12 weeks or 6 months of your training, you probably want to renew it a little bit because our admin might start kicking people out. All right. All the best. Speak to you very soon.